Peace Collective. Today's message is about you have arrived to home frequency. What has been shown to me by the divine last night has been absolutely beautiful. Now, a home frequency is speaking to the energy within, okay? You are not looking for anything outside of yourself. You have traversed, okay, pathways that sought to keep you down, but this is not a message of even focusing on the disempowered. This is all about the light. You've made it home. Do you understand how powerful this is? The fact that you've balanced your energies, your yin and your yang energies, your divine feminine, your divine masculine energies within. Now, what was shown to me was this beautiful house, okay? And it was black and white, very sleek, very modern. And there was people moving out of it, okay? I'm guessing this could have been those that tried to occupy your space that didn't belong, that they were not causing harmony in the space. Now you are taking back that power, you are taking back your residence, okay, your energetic space. If you are not staying in disempowered states, which you are not, they cannot hold on to it. Thus, you are realigning, you have realigned with home. And in realigning with home, there's a lot of blessings. Now, what was shown to me was that home is a bit dusty. Now, let's talk about it. There was nothing wrong with the home. You know, the furniture, everything in there was beautifully immaculate. Okay. And this is speaking to your life. Dusty to me means that you've arrived back at a particular state and destination, vibrational state and destination within yourself, but you haven't been here in a very long time. And now that you've arrived, you have to get familiar with the environment again. You basically have to dust off the cobwebs. I'm not saying that I've seen cobwebs, okay? It was more so just very dusty. And it's been a long journey. So now you are getting very comfortable with um, what's about to happen next, what's about to take place. Now, when we come home to ourselves, there is, I have to speak to it, a divine masculine for the divine feminine. For the divine masculine, when you come home to yourself, there's a divine feminine. Okay. And what was shown to me is that the divine masculine has not made it home yet. Or I don't want to sit here and say that the divine masculine hasn't made it home, right? So I'm going to cancel that statement. It's more so that you are now getting familiar with your energetic space at home before another enters that space. Okay. And it doesn't mean you're not connected with your divine partner. It doesn't mean that you're not connected to your, your eternal flame. What it means in this process is that you've worked really hard to gain yourself, to gain these insights, to get to a point of home frequency. You have fallen in love with yourself. And now this is a moment where you get to enjoy, of course, dust off that, that dust. Make sure it's nice and clean. There's nothing wrong with the place. It's just it hasn't been occupied. So now it basically needs to be lived in. This is where you live. And I did pull some cards. I am channeling this message with Archangel Michael and Mama Auset. Okay. And they both have messages for the collective for those of you that have made it home to home frequency and you are feeling this. Okay. And there's a lot of beautiful things that are about to start happening in your life. You know, some it could happen rapidly, right? For some of those that are listening in this collective. The very first card that came out was the Double Rainbow. I mean, it literally flew out the deck. And this is speaking to your ascension process. See, the whole point in this journey is to reclaim aspects of our soul. And I remember, not in the way that they showed me, but I remember when I was 7 years old. Um, I don't want to get into what happened afterwards, but there was these experiences that the divine allowed me to have that made me feel like I was home. Everything was black, but there was a bunch of like white stars or orbs around. And I knew that that was like home. And I held on to this memory my entire life after I had it, never forgetting that experience. It felt like I was floating. And this is how I know what they were showing me was home. like the house. It's speaking to a safety within that home frequency that you've reached, that you can live in, that you can explore the depths of yourself, continue to grow. See, in this journey, it's never about stagnation. It's about finding the aspects of self, our different soul shards that have been missing, that have gone, basically dormant, or asleep because of wounding, because of trauma, and to integrate with that, and then to live life from a standpoint that is you authentically. And in that, home frequency got abandoned a little bit. It wasn't where, it could be taken over, right? Indefinitely. It's just, no, now you have to, and it couldn't be damaged. See, the true essence of who we are comes from God, from the creator. So in this, we're in the season of just, dusting things off, and you gotten to explore who you are, and you'll always continue to explore the depths of your consciousness, and you're showing up in the world with your light on. So this double rainbow, to me, speaking of like divine intervention, it's speaking to me as as a promise from the divine, divine intervention, divine, assistance in this ascension process. You've done a lot of the hard work, and what was even being shown to me was, as we were driving home, it seemed a little scary. It seemed as though, we might not make it to the destination, but we did. And then I feel like this, in this aspect of your life, there is a parting of ways with certain beings, even certain guardians that were there to make sure, thank you, that were there to make sure that you made it, to your next level, that you made it home. And that's what they were saying, it's the next level. So now this is where it's like a turnover of guardians for some, because the ones that were protecting you, they were there like for your trauma. And it doesn't mean like all your guardianships are going to change, but there are some that feel like, or there are some that have accomplished their mission, they've accomplished their job with you, and now it's time for others to step in. And so, yeah, I feel like this double rainbow is speaking to like downloads, light codes, your light body getting the upgrades, your chakras ultimately just flowing. So before I got this message, I would sit here and say that the last couple days have been, I've felt like it was like a kundalini rising. Now, usually when kundalini rising and it's burning through any like impurifications, people can get very agitated, impulsive, angry, hot flashes, just different types of things. This was different. This was for me, right? I can't speak to the collective, but I do know that I feel it's very much in tandem happening with the collective spectrum. But the way that I was feeling it was a very much softer version, where I wasn't angry, but I was tired. I was definitely hot. I was uncomfortable within my body. I could feel that there was like these, impurifications being purified, being burned away. But it was a much softer experience of like kundalini rising that I have ever risen, I have ever experienced before. So this is letting me know it's kind of like final stages, right? And so now this is where you are experiencing life and crafting the life that you desire. So we have the double rainbow. Then we have, again, the man, which, says you are the current or a person, boyfriend, fiance, spouse, love interest, masculine energy. I told you, a divine masculine, divine counterpart is meeting you at home. But right now, you got the place a little dusty. Right now, okay, you are enjoying your energetic field. You are enjoying the presence of you. You are enjoying the time of you. I can't tell you how much I've been in love with myself, how much I've been in love with my voice, just my energy being rose centered in, my yoga practices. I'm still doing my raw vegan diet, my vegan diet, but I've been having little cakes and sweetness too, taking a little break. Okay. But the point is, what I'm saying is, you have this man, and this is very much a love message, because when we talk about coming home to this home frequency, we are acknowledging that, from what I've been shown, is one soul is made up of two compartments, two units. That is a divine feminine and divine masculine, and they work together to make one whole unit. Okay. And so you and your divine counterpart share this home. You're in the shell, and it doesn't mean that you are home before your partner, or that your partner is home before you. I do believe that it's something very simultaneously. But right now, you are enjoying the space to yourself before that integration of two happens, okay? Before the meeting of you two happens. And that's perfectly fine because you've had these moments where you've been convoluted by a lot of people's thoughts, projections, their ideas, even their willpower. And you've been enjoying you. You've been enjoying the silence, the stillness within. And this had to happen in order for you to welcome in, you know, um, that divine reflection. And see, what was also being shown is I knew that there was more to the house, but I feel like that's where he was or where somebody else was, but it wasn't really being shown. I was kind of in my own place, my own section of the house, right? And I knew that there was more to it, more to explore. So I say that to say that this is your moment. You know what I mean? Where your version of the house, you are dusting, you are adding your fine tunes to the things that you like, and you're trusting yourself in the process. So when you do open that door, it's a door that's opened to what you want him to see, what you want your divine reflection to see. And it's a beautiful time of just adding the bells and whistles, and then harmoniously together. Working harmoniously together because you took the time to be separate. You took the time, and separation is only an illusion because the work that you've been doing is all been to come together, and it's all been to work as a unit. But yeah, as a whole soul. But your compartment, your specific unit had to do its work, just like he had to do his work in order for the full integration of self to happen. So, the next card that came out was magnifying glass. I feel like this isn't an inspection of self, really. What I feel like this is a magnifying glass is mental clarity as far as like directions of what you want to do next, how you want to do it, okay? How you want to put yourself out there. And so I feel like you've been navigating this path where it's barely it's like a phone flashlight, okay? That doesn't show you too much ahead, but you kind of known, or you maybe been walking um cancel whatever I was trying to say, whatever was trying to come out that way. You've been walking, excuse me, maybe even in darkness, you know? And in that darkness, or that dim light that was showing, you knew this was the path that you were meant to follow. And so I feel like there's going to be, I'm not going to sit here and say the light is going to shine completely and you're going to know everything for the next 10 years. I think that's unrealistic, but I do think you're going to have more of a basis because you are trusting yourself. See, one thing that spirit even told me today, right? It's kind of like I had like two energies, right? Which I feel is kind of like, okay, the divine masculine, the divine feminine. And they're like, oh, do this, do this, do this, right? And it came down to wearing a pair of earrings, right? It was like an elephant pair of earrings. And I'm like, I really don't care. Like, I'm gonna just wear what you guys want me to wear. But then, I heard him say, like, follow your heart. This is your test in following your heart. And I'm like, okay, because I wanted to wear these. So I'm like, all right. I'm like, I'm not a big, fashion girly. Like, I do, I like to be cute. I like to be presentable, right, for myself, right? Because I don't want to. I'm not an image person, but I'm also not trying to look like I'm uncared for. You get what I'm saying? Like, it's a certain aspect of how I choose to carry myself for myself, not for the public, for myself. Okay, so I'm like, okay, because I've been wanting to wear these for a little bit, so I listen to myself, and it's this aspect where now you're trusting your heart. I say all that to say that you are trusting your heart, and in trusting your heart, you are realizing that there's going to be more clarity in the direction which you are moving into. So it's not going to be where you are looking in the darkness for your guardians to give you the next step every single step. Okay. This is where you're entering. Then the next card that came out was keys again. So this is speaking to like solution, intelligence. One thing that I love about the keys is that I remember being shown this vision of like divine partnerships, but there was like holographic codes, and this spoke to keys. Not everyone has the ability to unlock the greatness within you, right? So that's why your, eternal flame does. right? By reflecting you to you, by reflecting the God within to you. And so this is where I don't even feel like this is your divine, masculine coming in and making things happen for you. I feel like this is you showing up for you, and because who we got to talk about it. A lot of women be wanting a man to be the one to rescue them instead of really counting on themselves, and like I've been there, okay? But the whole partnership thing is about it's mission based and it's getting you to see yourself from a very divine standpoint. It's getting you to believe in yourself. It's getting you to support the version of yourself that is truly in alignment with your highest good. It's in reflection, or it's in connection in reflection with, reflecting the God within. So I feel like this is your breakthrough moments. I feel like this is you taking liberty into your own hands. I feel like, you are aligning with things that are going to be helpful in your path for you and the vision that you have for your life. And when the man, the court, does come in, because he will, and I do believe that he will be of assistance to you, because he loves you, and anyone who truly loves you is there to ultimately help you propel you to your highest points of spiritual evolution. You're already going to have it in the bag. It doesn't mean he's not going to help, but it means that you're not putting everything on him. You're realizing that this is your life, and even though you guys are one soul, two different units, it is your job to take care of your compartment. It is your job to make sure that your unit is running smoothly, and he's doing his part to make sure that you guys as a whole are running smoothly. The overarching card of this was the helm, which is really speaking to how you got to all of this, how this new insight that you uh, are coming into, this home frequency that you've accessed, is because you've taken over the steering wheel of your life. You've taken over your life and you haven't allowed, energies to use you as a host, and that's not something small at all. um and I feel like there's a big congratulations in that. There's been a lot of hard work, and as simple as I may say it, it's not as simple as it sounds, and you know that. um the card that came out, okay, was Divine Sunchild. Okay, this is from the Isis Oracle deck by Alana Fairchild. Love this deck. I am going to, oh, excuse me, read some of this to you. Excuse me with the phone, y'all, because I'm trying to manage two of these. But okay. Divine Sunchild. Blessings of the Sun Falcon. Blessings of the Sun Falcon, the Divine Sunchild Horus, son of Isis and Osiris, flow to you now. Beloved, initiate. It is time to allow your life to flourish without limits, to let your light burn bright and without veil. Just like the midsummer sun burning without contest in the Egyptian desert, blessings of the Sun Falcon herald the time when your divine legacy is being born. It is your time to burn bright. Listen, I gotta tell y'all, okay, I'm gonna just take a pause real quick because there was a scene that I was being shown as well too. And like, I know that my onoka, which is the name that's been given to me, it's my destiny has been born, right? I'm like right here, the door's been open. And then there was a bunch of baby horses being born, okay? And I'm still trying to sit with the thought of like what I was being shown, because there's like so many horses, and they were like, "Oh," I'm thinking like something died, right? But apparently the horse was like one of the baby horses, which is obviously a whole lot bigger than a human baby, um, was laying on the baby on Oka. And I'm like, oh my God. So I'm thinking something happened to Oka. But I'm realizing horse can be like a protector, right? But horse is also very speedy, right? I don't know if it was like a wild horse or things like that. But even still, there's movement, right? So it's like she had a pile of horses on her. Okay, and I don't know if it's like she had to find the strength to get out, but she was completely comfortable like a newborn, under the horses, like they were providing warmth. It was like they were all providing each other warmth. I don't understand that. But I had to say that when it's saying like your divine legacy is being born, you're understanding this. And I'm not saying that your legacy has been named, Onoka is, I feel like that is something that's very tribal, very something from like the divine, that they've given to me, and knowing it as destiny. Okay. So I'm gonna continue, but some of you have already stepped into the point in your life where you have, given birth to your destiny. And I feel like if you're aligning with this message, then you know you've given birth to your destiny. And it may not be apparent today, right? But you are on the path to walk towards your destiny. The door has been opened and you walk through that door. Okay. Because I feel like there's no way you would have reached home frequency if you're listening to this message if you have not walked through the door. And I'm not telling you something that you don't already know if this message does apply to you. Okay, so continuing with this message. Horus, the divine son child of Isis and Osiris, was born out of impossible circumstances. Do I gotta give y'all a look again? Okay, your destiny was born out of impossible circumstances. People never thought you would have been able to achieve it, but you did. Through the great devotion of his mother, Isis, and her loving determination to heal her husband and bring him back to life, to eventually become king of Egypt, defeating dark forces that would seek to destroy him and all that he loved with great triumph. It's a story of the divine hero of Egypt. And you are the divine hero of your bloodline, okay? And that compliment doesn't go to everyone. You know who you are. Um, it is also a metaphor for our inner world. Our divine feminine must stay true to her values of love, healing, and the triumphs of creativity over destruction, born of fear and hate. She must never give up her belief in her ideas. Our divine feminine is our body, whether man or woman, our inner values and the ideas that make our hearts beat stronger and feel right within our belly. With such love for her inner divine masculine, she never gives up on her belief in him either, and in her desire for her desire for their togetherness. It leads to his healing, even if he has been lost, fragmented, and thought dead. Y'all, didn't I tell you your divine masculine is coming in? Okay, these are the energies that are within. All right, the divine masculine is our spirit, whether woman or man, that our body desires to unite with, to help it come to life and light in a new and blissful way. The love of our heart calls our spirit home into our bodies. We become able to stand firm, take action, and make choices that allow our inner ideas to become part of our world. We live according to our values, not just hold them inside of ourselves. Finally, as our divine feminine and masculine unite within our bodies, a new golden consciousness is born. This is the sun child Horus, with an eye that is the moon and the eye that is the sun, representing the perfect balance of masculine and feminine energies in harmony with each other. This is the perfect card to come out for the message today. I'm just trying to let you know. Okay. The divine sun child is the new self filled with love, light, and power in the world. Didn't I tell you I was shown a child being born? Well, a whole bunch of horses laying on top of a newborn. Um, it is the authentic self living in their inner truths, the out in the outer world, an agent of healing on this planet, an inspiration for others to be bold, brave, and vivid enough to walk their own paths to eventually receive the same blessings. As the sun falcon with a burning golden solar disk above his head, he descends to you now, blessing you with great light, good tidings, and creative potency to manifest your life's legacy, that which has meaning and preciousness to your heart and soul successfully. He is the sign that your heart needs to know it will triumph. The solar prince for which he stands honors creativity and light in all forms music, art, writing, and more. What is in your heart? Are you building a spiritual legacy in your life now? Even if from seemingly small or impossible beginnings, great things are possible for you and your creative spirit. To allow these sacred blessings to empower your creative birth now in many ways, you are guided to let go of thoughts of feelings that it is impossible or too hard or cannot be done. Honoring the need to create as part of your natural life expression and is a way for you to receive these blessings. You are born to shine like the sun. You just are, and there is no question that it will happen. The oracle of the sun falcon can also indicate a new and life, changing opportunity is on its way to you. Sorry, hold on. Let me fix the camera while I adjust the page. When your heart stings, say yes. Do not give up until you have your success. The sun will shine on you. You will succeed. There's a ritual of the sun falcon, and I'm going to read it. If you decide to do it, that's up to you. You can do this ritual outdoors on a bright day or in a room filled with candles to honor the light of the sun. Close your eyes and become aware of the light of the sun or the candle burning in your own heart. Imagine that you become aware of a magnificent golden falcon within the flame, with wide wings and a fierce call, shining like a sun full of golden light. Above the head of the falcon is a solar disk, a sun, golden and strong. Feel the golden light emanating from the source and say, I now receive through unconditional love the golden light blessings of the sun falcon. I welcome your unconditional love and assistance and blessing into my heart and my life now. Help me foster life and creation now. Beloved sun falcon, I honor my creative inner sun and allow it to be powerful and bright. Through my own free will as a sovereign being of light, so be it. Stay with the golden light, and when you are ready, just open your eyes. If you used a candle, feel free to light it again and again whenever you are engaging in creative work to activate your blessings. The incantation to the Sun Falcon. You can use this incantation as a blessing prayer at any time you need some divine creative assistance. You can use it independently or at the end of the ritual above. Horus Falcon of the Golden Sun, my creative energies have begun. To shine bright and strong, help my creative projects along. To fulfillment and completion pure, with your will and light so sure. Horus Falcon of the Golden Sun, my successes and wins now come. Ashe, Ashe. I just put that out there when I was reading that because that was beautiful. So, with that being stated, y'all, thank you so much for tapping in with me in spirit for this beautiful, beautiful message. And thanks to Archangel Michael and Mama Auset for the assistance. Take care, y'all. From me in spirit. Peace.